Hello. It is time for Diaspora TV. It's Thursday. It's a Deeper Than Travel. If you're on here live with us, join us. Give me a hashtag I'm tripping in the comments. If you're on the replay, do the same thing. It doesn't even matter. It's just like you're here with us. We still want your comments. My name is Inez Chimangariso, and I'm the founder of It's Deeper Than Travel. If you're not familiar with what It's Deeper Than Travel is, we are a travel agency specifically focused on taking Pan-Africans to Pan-African countries to travel, serve, and learn in order to help them overcome their misconceptions, stereotypes about these countries, as well as reconnect them to their roots so they can really just live out their travel aspirations. And then every Thursday we do Diaspora TV. That's what we're doing here today. Diaspora TV is our weekly live, and it's our Facebook Live that gives you the people, the resources, the ideas that you need to travel deeper and to just explore the world. I want to get started today, though, because today's topic is pretty interesting to me, mostly because I have significantly changed the way I eat over the past couple of months. And so today's episode is about what are you eating? What you eating? What's on your plate? Specifically about how foods show up differently in the diaspora in different ways. We're all connected, as you'll see if you watched any of our videos. But specifically, I'm starting to see just how connected we are when it comes to foods. We eat a lot of the same foods, regardless if you're from Africa, if you're from Central America, South America, the Caribbean, or if you're African American and you live in the United States. Usually, those foods just show up differently, or the dishes just show up differently. I uniquely had the opportunity to be exposed to a lot of different versions because I sit in the middle of a lot of different culture within my close circle. My husband is from Zimbabwe. Which, if you're not familiar where that is very close and northern of South Africa. My best friend is from Guyana, which, if you're not familiar where that is from, that is on the northern tip of South America. My grandfather is from Trinidad, which is in the Caribbean, of course. I was raised in North Carolina, which is very much deep South black food. And then my family is from New Jersey, which is, a bit different type of African-American food. So I have a lot of different, cultures that I come in contact with a lot of the time, especially when it comes to food. So I wanted to kind of share some of that because I think that's something that people don't realize, because a lot of times we just eat the foods that we're used to eating or that we're used to making. So I wanted to share, some of the foods. I think I have, 5. I don't even know if I counted them. Different types of foods that throughout the diaspora, we are all eating it. We're just eating it very differently. And the first one is sweet potatoes and yams. So being from the South, we eat a lot of sweet potatoes and yams as African Americans. But usually when we're eating it, it's I would say it's like a sweet dish. So we are usually serving it as a pie, like sweet potato pie. Or if we're eating it with as a side dish for dinner, then it's like a sweet potato casserole, which is very sweetened as well. It usually has syrup and everything. I've noticed that it's not the same when it comes to potentially African culture, because they usually will just eat a sweet potato, similar to the way Americans eat baked potato. They would eat a sweet potato in the same way. So whether it be a breakfast food, it would just be the potato, and it could be the main dish for their course, which is rare for us as African Americans. And then usually, hey Aisha, usually for Caribbeans, they will usually include sweet potatoes in some sort of stew. So I know specifically a stew that I had recently that my best friend made me was called Madam G, which is made out of a lot of different root vegetables, one of which is sweet potato. And I think she told me that Madam G is the Amerindian dish, which is originated from kind of the Native Americans, but it's kind of a whole bunch of different things go into it, and sweet potatoes is one of the things. So sweet potatoes show up very differently throughout the diaspora. A lot of times people, especially I would say African Americans, don't know the difference between sweet potatoes and yams, which I'm learning that sweet potatoes are red. Yams are not necessarily red. They're actually like whitish. So yeah, that's one of the foods. The other one is pumpkin. So I don't really remember eating a lot of pumpkin growing up other than pumpkin pie as an African American. Like, I can't really think of other instances. Y'all let me know, African Americans, if there are other things that you were eating when you were younger that had pumpkin in them other than pumpkin pie. I know that in African culture, though, they will eat like pumpkin seeds. So like they'll take the seeds out, similar to the way I think we eat sunflower seeds, and they will eat pumpkin seeds. And then also I've learned that they will eat pumpkin like for breakfast boiled, or for lunch boiled. Black folks do eat pumpkin pie. Don't try to play. It depends on where you from, but yes, I have had some pumpkin pie. Yes, like, so they will eat it as a main dish, which I don't think I've ever had it as a main dish, almost like a side to any main dish is pumpkin. And then I know in Caribbean cultures, they will make it into dishes like pilau is, I think, Trinidadian. And then also, like, I think Jamaicans will eat it on the side, similar to like mashed potatoes. So they will like boil it down so that it's really soft like mashed potatoes and eat it that way. So let me know, if you're Caribbean, if there's any other types of ways that you eat pumpkin, as well as if you're in the African culture, like what are the dishes that you all eat that have pumpkin in them? Girl, bye. Asia seems to believe that other people eat the pumpkin pie, but I know I have had pumpkin pie at a African American church bake sale. Okay. So the other thing is, but I will say mostly it's sweet potato. Like if I'm making it, if we're making pies and stuff, it's usually sweet potato. So I do agree with you there. The other one is ginger. So I think I really didn't start eating ginger until this year, like drinking ginger until this year, other than ginger ale, really. My husband, on the other hand, eats a lot of ginger raw, like it almost in like a medicinal thing. I know that they, in African foods, they also eat them, use it as a spice, and I know that they also use it heavily as a spice in Caribbean foods, and in like their drinks. So like ginger beer, sorrel, I think, has ginger in it as well, which is a drink that Caribbeans drink. Oh, you eat ginger for medicinal purposes too, Asia? That joint's too strong for me. I'm not about to just eat a piece of ginger. Like, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm not there in my journey. But I know it's really good for you. And then also, so like I feel like we as African Americans probably have ginger mostly in like cookies. Like I don't think I could think of was like gingerbread cookies. Oh, ginger tea. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we will drink, I guess, ginger in tea as well. Although I will say I haven't drunk much ginger tea, but I just started drinking tea last year, so I don't really count. So yeah, ginger is definitely one of those things. Oh yeah, pineapple and ginger juice. Yes, they eat a lot of that. They drink a lot of that in Ghana. Pineapple and ginger, which I didn't like while I was there, but I've started drinking since I got back from Ghana, and I actually do like it. Oh, you said also in the Asian dishes they have a lot of ginger as well. That's true. That's true. So yeah, it's like all throughout the diaspora, in different ways and stages, as well as greens. So, I've had my black card taken a few times for a few reasons by my fellow African Americans, because I just don't eat certain foods, and collard greens is one of those foods, unfortunately. As an African American, that's like a staple dish wherever you are. People eat collard greens, especially in the South. I don't eat that. But it is a staple food for us. I think Caribbeans eat what is called callaloo, which will be their version of greens. So I know Jamaicans eat it. I think Trinidadians eat it as well. Asia, thank you. Yes, no greens for me. But callaloo actually originated in West Africa. So it's eaten a lot by Caribbeans, but the plant originated in West Africa. And then I think a lot of the greens that other Africans may eat may have to do with like cassava leaves and pumpkin leaves. I know, I don't know if cabbage is considered a green. I feel like it's a green. But that as well. So like we all eat different types of greens. It's just depending upon like where you are on what type of green you eat. And like, but usually I feel like greens are always going to be like some sort of lunch or dinner dish for most cultures. Yes, turnip and mustard greens. Yes, those two. I don't mess with either one of those actually. Although I hear they're great. And lastly, look, you better get you some kale in a smoothie. Even if you're not eating it, you better put it in a smoothie. It's good for you. The last thing is rice and beans. So rice and beans is like a staple food in every African diasporan culture, like very much so. I would say as an African American, we eat, I would say like rice and beans would be like kind of like black eyed peas and rice. I think of like usually on New Year's Day, one of the traditions that or superstitions that we have is eating black eyed peas and rice and collard greens in order to be prosperous in the new year. Or like kidney beans and rice. I know we all have like dishes that'll have like red beans and rice. And chili, like we'll eat it in our chili, so we'll have like ground beef in it, that kind of thing. As an African American, I know that we eat red beans and rice. Yes, exactly. Red beans and rice is actually big, I think, in African dishes as well, because I eat a lot with my husband as well, whether it be pinto beans or red beans or white beans or black eyed peas or any type of bean possible. We eat all of them in rice. And then I know like in Caribbean dishes, I mean, just name them. Like I know there's cook up rice, which you know, Guyanese dish, black eyed peas, rice, and beef, and all of the other meats in there stewed together. Then you have like Jamaican peas and rice, which I think are, what's it called? Pigeon peas. So not really the black beans, but like a brownish looking bean. So pigeon peas and rice that they put together with coconut milk. And then you have like pilau, which is like rice. And I think they're either pigeon peas or cow peas. And coconut milk. What's Jaffa rice? Oh, jollof. You probably talking about jollof rice. Jollof rice doesn't necessarily have peas in it. Jollof rice reminds me of like dirty rice from a southern perspective, because it's really spicy and it's like sometimes it's like yellowish, so it reminds me of that. But yes, that's another thing, like I don't even know what to call it, but like the spicy rice, that's definitely something as well. But they will serve it with beans. Yeah. And then of course you have our South American friends and brethren who always have like black beans and rice. So they'll have like dishes that have like more of a Spanish flair, which usually includes like mostly black beans, I think. And then they'll do other beans as well. But a lot of times when I have Spanish dishes, it's like a yellow rice and black beans. So yes. So those are like some of the dishes that I've seen that kind of like span throughout the diaspora, regardless of where you're from. They're the foods that we eat, but we just eat them differently because of, you know, dependent upon wherever our ancestors landed on the spectrum of the diaspora. Let me know if there are other foods that stand out in your mind. I was trying to think about how do we eat corn differently, or like even like cornmeal. But I couldn't think of like a lot of things. I know like we as African Americans have cornbread. I know I eat sadza, which is like almost like it reminds me of grits, but you eat it with like dinner with my husband. And then we also have like grits that we eat for breakfast. as African Americans. So I'm just like thinking about like all of the different types of ways that we eat corn throughout the diaspora. Let me know what I'm missing. I'd love to hear from you. I'll be here again next Thursday for Diaspora TV. I hope you will be here as well. Keep us in mind. Drop us a comment. Let us know if there's any ideas, resources, or people that you want to meet or talk about to help you trip a little deeper, travel a little deeper. And in the meantime, hey, Faye, stay tripping.